Max Kellerman is expected to leave ESPN First Take. Not ESPN, but ESPN First Take, the show. Kellerman is expected to be removed off of First Take, the show in which he and Stephen A. Smith verbally battle each day, going at hot take after hot take with each other. The sources have now confirmed this news, and they also say that this is not the end of Kellerman at ESPN, as he is likely to have an increased role, on ESPN Radio and potentially his own TV show, according to multiple sources. He already does a lot of boxing-focused programming. We know Max Kellerman is a big connoisseur of professional boxing and fighting. Front Office Sports was the first to report this. ESPN has declined to comment on a lot of this news. For now, ESPN does not plan on replacing Kellerman with anyone in particular. Instead, a rotation of verbal sparring partners will likely make the rounds throughout the show over the next few weeks. And we also learned that Molly Quorum is expected to continue on, and Stephen A. Smith as well, as Stephen A. Smith is basically the big star of ESPN at this point. He is ESPN. As Stephen A. goes, ESPN goes. So Max Kellerman is leaving ESPN. This is big news. This is big news not only for people who might be still fans of the show, as there are people who are still fans of the show, but it's also big news for people who are not fans of the show. It's big news because it's weird. First Take has built an entire identity. Either you love Stephen A. Smith or you don't love Stephen A. Smith. And then Max Kellerman a lot of times has been the foil to that. And that was the role he was brought in to do, much like Skip Bayless before him. And look, Max Kellerman was someone who I think was good at his job for a very long time. Max Kellerman brought logic and facts 9 times out of 10 throughout his debates with Stephen A. Smith. And a lot of times he was the substance of this show. For him to leave, it's a big loss for this show because you can bring in analysts who have, experience. You can bring in Swagoo. You can bring in, Dominique Foxworth. You can bring in, even Adam Schefter, whoever you want to bring in to the show. You can bring all these people in, Ryan Hollins and all the crew. It's going to be big. It's going to be big shoes to fill as Max Kellerman makes his exit from First Take. Because he really established himself. He was the person after Skip Bayless to establish himself as in that role, right up there with Stephen A. Smith in this show. Because, let's be honest, when Max Kellerman isn't on or Stephen A. isn't on, whoever they have coming in, no one pays attention to. But with Max Kellerman, he was a draw for this show, and he's going to be missed sorely. And look, you can also say that it might be time for him to move on to bigger and better things because, let's be honest, First Take wasn't exactly compelling television all the time. You kind of knew where it was going most times that you watched it. You knew that Stephen A. was going to complain about the Dallas Cowboys once an episode. You knew that Stephen A. was going to talk about how much he loves South Beach in L.A. You knew all the jazz that Stephen A. was going to say. And then you knew Max Kellerman would refute it in a very logical way. And for me personally, it kind of ran its course for a while. So for Max Kellerman to leave and do a larger role, I hope he gets like his own show, like the Stephen A. World that he has on ESPN Plus, because it actually might make me pay for ESPN Plus. I'm not gonna lie to you, because Max Kellerman to me is one of the very few people on ESPN who actually discusses things in one, an entertaining way, and two, a way that appeals to me as someone who likes to bring facts and logic to arguments. Like, he's got this it's weird. He's got a very old school ESPN type of feel. And look, I'm not going to lie to you. Is there some rust, some First Take rust that Max Kellerman kind of has? Absolutely. He's got a little bit of that First Take kind of aroma, if you will, to him. Because, I think as the show went on, his takes tended to get kind of watered down. His takes tended to get a little bit, stale, and then sometimes he ended up capping a little bit. The biggest evidence of that was the Brady falling off a cliff. That was a gimmick that Max Kellerman went with for years, just to have a gimmick, just so people could tweet him online. And look, it's part of the game. You all got to have a gimmick. You got to have people engaged, and they do a good job of doing that. And as far as what it means for ESPN and specifically ESPN First Take, ESPN I think is going to be fine as long as they retain Kellerman, because if they lose Max Kellerman, that would be bad. That's when I would be concerned, because then Fox Sports will likely offer him a very, very sweet deal, especially after what they offered Skip Bayless to stay on doing Undisputed with Shannon Sharp. So I believe that Max Kellerman's loss for First Take is going to be hard to replace him. It is going to be very hard to replace Max Kellerman on ESPN First Take, because who else do you have right now to fill that spot? Is it going to be someone like a Dominique Foxworth, who love Neek, but is it going to be someone like a Swagoo, who they like to have on? It's probably going to be one of those guys. And look, nothing against them. I like them as analysts. I like Kendrick Perkins. I think Kendrick Perkins on the jump is amazing. I love Kendrick. The issue is, I don't think the same dynamic can work, and I don't think it's going to be a good dynamic like that. I think you need to bring in someone who is more Max Kellerman-like, even less so than Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless was basically just a different version of Stephen A. Smith, just capping all over the place. But you need to bring someone who brings that types of facts and logic and that approach to most arguments, because that's one thing Max Kellerman always did and always does. Again, we don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know if it's going to be happen right now or what have you. But one thing we do know is that originally ESPN Radio wanted to pair Max Kellerman and Keyshawn Johnson together on a morning show. And I think that's the same morning show that ended up becoming, Jay Williams, Zubin Mehenti, and Keyshawn's show. By the way, big shout out to Zubin Mehenti, who currently has been facing complications from his diabetes. So big shout out to him, man. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.